G'day beautiful people, welcome back. We're taking a look at another boss today, and that is the Raptors, who are on Europa in the mission Nama. It's been a little bit. I've not been well, seems to be a recurring thing. But we're enough about that because you don't give a shit. So let's get into it. So as we said, Europa, Nama, the Raptors. There are 3 of the Raptors. Upon defeating these guys, you will get parts for Nova. Nova is something very important to get as soon as you can, because she kind of makes things easy mode for a lot of people. When it comes to doing things like defense missions, you can run a speed Nova, use her ultimate to speed up enemies and get them towards a point where your team can kill them to end rounds quicker. She's also used a lot on, say, infested defense missions as a slow Nova. You make a slow Nova simply by going into negative strength. She's just very, very handy. She's very handy and something that you should get your hands on as soon as you can. But unfortunately, in order to do that, you're going to have to do the Raptor fight. Now, on my way through the star chart, I actually found this to be the most difficult fight that I came across. I don't actually find it that difficult now. Obviously, because I have better weapons and stuff, but, I don't think it's as big of a deal as I once thought it was. And one thing that I have found that helps a lot is using Rhino and using his stomp. So his stomp will stop horizontal movement. So you will see when we get into the mission that these raptors will come out of a pipe in the ground. They'll come up vertically, and by stomping them, we can stop them from going away, so when moving out of the way, so when we kill them, we won't have to pick up their bomb and drop it. It'll just drop straight down to where it's supposed to be. So as far as the build goes on Rhino, you don't need anything special. I don't even think I'm going to tweak this. 172% duration will be fine. The range should be fine. On this, thank you bird for chirping in the background, because we are going to get pretty close to them before we stomp anyway. I could get rid of my narrow-minded, I suppose, and do it that way, or just drop my strength, but I think we'll just leave it like that, just say that you can go in with anything. So as we covered in the last video, we're going to assume that you have the heck. Okay, and I'm going to assume that by now you've max ranked it, and you've probably put a catalyst into it, which I strongly recommend that you actually do put a catalyst in it. So this is the build that we were using last time, I think. So I've not formed my actual heck itself, and I'm going to go in using what I would normally use. I'm not going to dumb it down. So what I would normally use is my Hell's Chamber. I would use my, where is she? Point Blank, maxed out. I would also use my Scattered Justice for an extra 200% multi-shot. And that's pretty much it for the flat damage mods. And from there, if we look at the stats, put them up on the screen now. There's 3 Raptors. Okay, they all have 25 alloy armor. They have a 600 proto shield. And then obviously they have different amounts of health, which is robotic health. So one is 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. We're not going to worry about magnetic for the shield. We're going to go for radiation, because it is going to do 25% bonus damage against the robotic, but it's also going to do 75% against the alloy armor, and considering we're not stripping the armor, it's always going to have that armor. So we're going to go for radiation, which is electricity and fire. Yes, nailed it. And then we have 7 points left. So, anything you could do here is, I'd probably just put my vigilant armaments on. You could go for a dual stat mod, something. I actually have not used any of my dual stat mods on my shotgun for some reason. I have a toxic barrage here. So, you could use a toxic barrage. I actually like using vigilant armaments as much as possible. I'm not going to max that out any further because I use it as a 6 because it kind of works out at my mastery rank. So I'm not going to worry about anything else, I don't think. I think we'll be fine. So yeah, we'll go and get into it. So we're going to Europa. There are actually a couple of good mods that you can get from this fight itself. So it's up here at the top side. Regular mission assassination. Oh, hang on, let's not do that. Let's put it on invite only. Okay, so as far as mods go, you can get Organ Shatter, Reach, Reflex Coil. Nothing too special there. I mean, Organ Shatter and Reach are going to be handy for some of your melee weapons. You can also get Stretch, which hopefully you've actually gotten by now. But you can also get Split Chamber, but it is a 0.1% chance to drop, so you're not necessarily going to get it. Okay, and you need to keep in mind, these guys kind of hit like trucks. They're going to hurt you, and there are going to be other enemies in and around the area that you do have to worry about. But being Rhino, you know, it's not going to be too much of an issue, I don't think. Just get ourselves some energy. Okay, and we're going to make our way towards the fight. Actually, a very, very long path to the fight, so I shall see you in a bit, because it's just going to be a flat run the whole way there, and I'm actually going to search down this Samaras target. So, catch you in a second. Okay, so we're pretty close now, 200 meters away. I would just like to state that this may very well just go to prove that even if you aim like an absolute muppet, you can still get this done. They are going to hit you pretty hard, so you're going to need to worry about that. But you know, you should be fine. I'm going to miss a lot of shots, and we're still going to get it done. I'm actually going to use my extra damage and nearly two-shot it. So we're going to grab this. Once you pick it up, you have very little time to get to one of those 3 vents and press your weapon swap button. Oh, he's jumped. Okay, oh. Two-shot him. Where is that? It fell in. Okay, fine. Still have a damage boost. Apparently not. It's fine. That's dropped to the side. Yeah, once you pick this up with square, you've got 6 seconds roundabouts to go and drop that in there. You use your weapon swap button, which on PS4 is your triangle button. Not sure what the button's called on Xbox or what that would be on PC, but you'll figure it out. It is your weapon swap button. So you know, like, I aim like an absolute muppet. All I did was go in there with my iron skin just to stay alive, use my my power buff. Obviously I do have, you know, a fair bit of power on this build, over 200 power I think. I cannot remember, but you just watched me go through it, whereas I recorded that section a little while ago and I've forgotten already. But yeah, once you finish this, you're going to grab yourself a Nova part. You know, you're going to get the Sigil if you haven't got it already. You're going to get either Neural Sensors, Morphics, or Control Modules. Whatever else you pick up on your way through the mission. So it's not that hard. It does actually, the first time you do it, seem really, really hard. One tip I can give you, if you do struggle, the doorway you enter to go in, you can sort of sit there and it will come towards you, the first one, and you will just have enough time when you kill it to quickly pick it up and get it into the first hole. We'll just call it a hole. But from there, you will not be able to go back to that first door and make it to the next sets when you pick up a bomb. So if you head down about halfway, around about where the middle spawn is, off to the left-hand side and up, there is another doorway there which can give you just enough space. There is also a couple of bugs that can force them to not come out of their pipes. And they'll stay down in the pipe and then you can sort of shoot down into them. I'm not sure if that still works, and I don't want to go into it because I hate bugs and glitching and stuff, so I don't advocate that, but, you know, if you want to see if it still works, I'm sure you can find somewhere to figure out whether that still works. But that is the... we've got a message! Oh, dang it. So that is the Raptors fight, the Birds of Prey. So I suppose the quick things to go over are... Rhino is a very good option. If, unlike me, you put a little bit more range on your build, you can probably actually slow them down a little bit more, or actually slow them down. But going in there with a good amount of strength on your build and duration will allow you to, have a good amount of armor on your Iron Skin. It will give you good damage boost and a good duration on your damage boost to be able to get through the fight. Using something like the Heck, which at this stage I really feel like you should have the Heck and you should invest some time into it, maybe former it a couple of times, considering the fact that you're using, your 14 point, I think it's 14 point blank. I don't remember what the point is on, is it 11 or 14, something like that, and your 15 point multi-shot. Perhaps you should consider formering it maybe once or twice so that you can make a few good builds on it, because it is actually going to really help you. For a weapon that you can get relatively early on in your MR career, it is going to be very, very good at getting rid of bosses very quickly. So until you get onto those later game shotguns that are a bit more powerful, like Tigress Prime, for example, which is, I think, MR 13 or 14, the Heck will do you well. Another thing you can use is you can actually radial blind them. I believe it still works with Excalibur to keep them still for a minute so that you can take them down. I don't think there's anything, I'm actually just looking at the moment, I don't think there's anything else that really works on them. I think it's just the radial blind and the Rhino Stomp, but I could be wrong. But that's kind of everything you need to know about the Raptors fight. Go in there with a radiation build on a shotgun. Either go in with Rhino, use your Iron Skin and your power buff, your damage buff, or go in there with Excalibur and use your radial blind, and you should be fine. Just keep in mind that you don't want to drop them too far away from the pipes, because you only have 6 or 7 seconds to pick up that bomb and get it into the pipe. It might take you a couple of runs to get the hang of it, but you should be fine. It's not as hard as it actually seems when you first come across it. So, with all that said, thanks so much for watching, guys. If this video helped you in any way, shape, or form, smash the like button. Leave me a comment if you have any further questions or if you think I forgot something. And subscribe if you're not already. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I love your face. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.